There is a lie that has infiltrated your bed.
It is a silent lie, one that sleeps between you and the woman you love, creating an abyss that no amount of flowers, romantic dinners, or conversations about feelings can cross. Picture this. You are an educated man. You have been taught that respect is the highest virtue. You have been taught that women must be treated with delicacy, that you must ask for permission, that you must seek consensus. You have been told that sexual intimacy is an extension of friendship, an act of communion between two equals, soft, safe, and predictable. And you have complied. You are the good lover, according to modern books. You are attentive, you worry about her pleasure in an almost clinical way. You ask, "Do you like this?" every 2 minutes. You make sure she feels safe, protected, and listened to. However, you notice something. You notice that although she loves you, although she tells you that you are a great man, her eyes do not shine with hunger when they look at you. You notice that sex has become routine, hygienic, almost administrative. You notice that she seems to comply with the act, but she doesn't lose herself in it. There is no such animal urgency, that loss of control, that moan that comes from the gut and indicates the rational mind is shut down. And what's worse, perhaps you have noticed how she looks at certain men in movies, or perhaps you have accidentally read the type of erotic literature she consumes in secret, and you see something there that chills your blood. You see stories of domination. You see stories of dangerous men, men who do not ask for permission, men who take what they want, men who are the complete opposite of the safe partner you have tried so hard to be. And you feel betrayed. You ask yourself, why, if I do everything right, do I not receive that passion? Why does my goodness seem to dry up her desire? The answer is the darkest and most forbidden truth about female sexuality. A truth that no woman will tell you to your face because admitting it would go against all her social, political, and moral programming. The truth is that she doesn't want you to be good in bed. She wants you to be competent in predation. The common enemy here is the sanitization of desire. Modern society has tried to clean up sex, to turn it into a democratic and safe transaction. They have tried to erase the shadow, the dirt, the power struggle that is inherent to lust. They have given you a flawed map that equates love with lust. And they are two different beasts. Love seeks safety. Lust seeks danger. Love seeks equality. Lust seeks polarity. Today, I am going to reveal the hidden psychology of female lust. I am going to explain to you why she secretly desires what she publicly condemns. We are going to talk about the fantasy of surrender, the paradox of the controlled monster, and moral suspension. What you are about to hear will shatter your inhibitions. It will make you understand that your excessive respect is being interpreted by her biology as genetic weakness. But in the end, it will give you the key to the locked room. It will teach you how to be the man who can love her in the living room and devastate her in the bedroom, giving her exactly what her shadow craves. Brace yourself. We are going into the darkness of desire. The first act of this transformation requires an autopsy of your current behavior. We must understand why the modern approach, the sensitive ally approach, is the killer of libido. The social lie tells you, women want romantic and soft sex, and you, obediently, become the democratic lover. The democratic lover approaches sex as a negotiation. He seeks constant consensus. He is afraid to offend. He is afraid of being too aggressive. He touches the woman as if she were fragile porcelain. The problem is that female biology does not respond to democracy. It responds to authority. Let's analyze this without moralizing, only with evolutionary psychology. For hundreds of thousands of years, the sexual act has been the moment of greatest vulnerability for a woman. It is the moment when she allows someone to enter her most intimate space. For her to be able to let go, for her to be able to shut off her hyper-vigilant brain, the one that is always scanning for threats, pending tasks, social judgments, she needs to feel an external force that is greater than her own resistance. She needs to be overwhelmed. When you are soft, hesitant, and ask permission for everything, you are sending a signal to her nervous system. I am not sure what I am doing. You have to guide me. This forces her to maintain control. And if she has to maintain control, she cannot surrender to pleasure. She cannot enter a trance. The social lie tells you that her fantasy is equality. The biological reality is that her fantasy is the abdication of responsibility. She spends all day being responsible. She is a professional. She is a mother. She is a citizen. She makes decisions, pays bills, manages emotions. She is exhausted from being in control. What she desires in the dark, what she will never tell you at the breakfast table, is a space where she does not have to decide, a space where she is not responsible for what happens, a space where you take the helm so firmly that she has no choice but to be a passenger. By being the good boy, you are denying her that rest. You are denying her the catharsis of surrender. You are trying to make love to her conscious personality when what she needs is for you to fuck her subconscious shadow. And that shadow doesn't want vanilla. That shadow wants intensity. It wants friction. It wants to feel the weight of your desire, not the lightness of your politeness. It is not your fault. Culture has terrified you with the idea that any masculine aggression is toxic. They have confused predatory aggression, which is bad, with vital aggression, which is necessary. They have psychologically castrated you to make you harmless. But as Jordan Peterson said, a woman does not want a harmless man. She wants a dangerous man who knows how to control his danger. Now, the revelation. Let's dig deeper into the internal machinery of this shadow. What exactly does she desire, and why can't she ask you for it? We must create new terminology to understand this. Forget the words love and sex. We are going to talk about the ravishment imperative. In the deep psyche of a woman, there is a constant tension between her social self, the good, respectable woman, and her primal self, the biological female. The primal self desires to be taken. It desires to be the object of the uncontrollable desire of a powerful man. Why? Because being taken, in a context of trust, of course, is the supreme validation of her desirability. If you ask for permission, you are being logical. If you take her, you are being instinctive, and instinct does not lie. If you lose control for her, if you cannot keep your hands still, if you push her against the wall because you have to have her, that tells her biology, I am so valuable, so irresistible, that this strong man has lost his mind over me. That is the most potent aphrodisiac in the world. But here is the trap, and the reason she will never tell you. The guilt paradox. Women are taught to be ashamed of their lust. They are taught that good girls don't want to be spanked, tied up, or dominated. They are taught that it is degrading. Therefore, she cannot ask you to do it. If she tells you, I want you to be dominant, then she is responsible for that order. And if she is responsible, she feels dirty or wrong. She needs you to initiate. She needs you to be responsible for the depravity. She needs to be able to tell herself and her internal judge, it wasn't my fault. He was so turned on that he just took me. I just let myself go. This is what I call the absolution of sexual responsibility. Your job as a man, as a strategist of desire, is not to ask her what she wants, It is to create a framework where she feels free to enjoy what she wants without having to ask for it. You must be the villain of the movie so she can be the maiden who surrenders without guilt. The forbidden knowledge is this: her social no is often an invitation to your playful insistence. Note, here I am talking about established and consensual couple dynamics, not abuse. The distinction is critical. She wants you to break down her defenses, not with violence, but with intensity of purpose. She wants to feel that your desire is stronger than her social resistance. The key concept here is lust as creative violence. Don't be scared by the word violence. I refer to the violence of a storm or of a river breaking a dam. It is pure kinetic energy. The sex she craves is not static. It is a collision. It is a conquest. She wants to feel your physical strength. She wants to feel that you could crush her, but you choose not to. That containment, that power held back at the last second, is what generates hyperarousal. If you are weak, you cannot hurt her. Therefore, your gentleness has no value. If you are strong and dangerous, your gentleness is a gift. Now let's go to the system, to the chronicle of how to apply this. How do you go from being the boring good husband to the dark and desired man without seeming crazy or abusive? The system is based on 3 pillars of transformation: polarity, atmosphere, and execution. Pillar 1, repolarization outside the bedroom. Seduction does not start when the lights go out. It starts in the kitchen. It starts with the morning text message. For her to want to be taken by you, she must first respect you as an authority. You must stop being her best friend. Stop telling her your insecurities. Stop gossiping. Stop seeking her approval for every decision. Reclaim your masculine sovereignty. Make decisions. Tonight, we are going to dinner at this place. Wear the red dress. It is not a question, it is a direction. By doing this, you are establishing the leader-follower dynamic. At first, she may resist. She will test you, but secretly, her body will start to relax. Oh, thank God, someone is in charge. When she feels your authority in daily life, her subconscious starts preparing the ground to submit to your authority in bed. You cannot be a doormat in the living room and a tamer in the bedroom. Incongruence kills desire. Pillar 2, the atmosphere of latent threat. You must introduce an element of danger into your interaction. I don't mean real physical danger, but unresolved sexual tension. Look at her, but not with that love-struck puppy look. Look at her as if you were calculating how long it would take to take her clothes off. Look at her like a predator looks at prey. Maintain eye contact a second longer than is socially comfortable. Let there be silences. Use the touch of ownership. When you pass by her, don't give her a soft peck. Grab her waist firmly, pull her toward you, smell her neck, and then let her go and walk away. No words, no asking for sex, just a demonstration that you can take her whenever you want, but in that moment, you choose not to. This ignites her imagination. It puts her in a state of alert. What is he thinking? What is he going to do to me? Anticipation is 90% of female lust. Pillar 3, the execution of ravishment in the bedroom. This is where theory becomes flesh. When the moment comes, you must turn off the democratic lever. Do not ask, "Can I take off your clothes?" Take them off. Do not ask, "Do you like it like this?" Watch her body. If she arches, if she moans, if she scratches you, she likes it. Trust your instincts, not her words. Introduce benevolent domination. Immobilize her. Grab her wrists. Cover her mouth gently while you penetrate her. These actions have a profound psychological effect. They silence her mind. By restricting her movement or her voice, you force her to focus purely on physical sensation. You take away the responsibility of acting. Talk to her, but don't say, "I love you" in the middle of the act. Save that for the end. Tell her what you are doing to her. Tell her who she belongs to. Use language that is possessive, raw, and dirty. "You were mine. Look how I have you." This reinforces the narrative that she is the object of your uncontrollable desire. And most importantly, do not apologize. Never ever apologize for your desire. If you finish and say, "Sorry if I was a little rough," you have just destroyed all the magic. You have just brought back the good boy who is ashamed of his masculinity. Instead, hug her tight, kiss her on the forehead, and say, "You were incredible." Validate her surrender. Make her feel that her dirtiness was beautiful. The system is a cycle. 1. You establish authority outside. 2. You create tension with the gaze and possessive touch. 3. You execute the act with domination and without asking permission. 4. You provide safety and affection aftercare, to close the cycle and reconnect. Here we arrive at the power pivot, the vindication of your nature. I know what you're thinking. This sounds bad. This sounds like disrespect. That is the voice of your conditioning. That is the voice of society that wants weak men because they are easier to control. Your vindication is this. Your aggressive desire is not disrespect. It is the greatest compliment you can give her. Think about it. What is more respectful? Treating her like a fragile doll that will break if you touch her with force, which implies you see her as weak? Or treating her like a vibrant, sexual, and resilient woman who can withstand and enjoy the strength of a man? By unleashing your dark lust, you are telling her, "I trust you. I trust that you are woman enough to handle my unfiltered masculinity." And the transformation you will see in her will be your proof. You will see her stress disappear. You will see her femininity bloom. A woman who has been well fucked, and I use that word deliberately because making love does not capture this. She walks differently. She smiles differently. She is sweeter, more affectionate. Why? Because you have purged her tension. You have silenced her mental noise. You have given her the gift of the void. She has been carrying the weight of the world all day. You, with your strength and your domination, have taken it off her for an hour. That is service. That is masculine love in its most primitive and sacred form. Your fear of being a monster has prevented you from being the man. But the paradox is that she needs the monster. She needs to know that that monster lives in you, and that she is the only one who can summon it and the only one who can calm it. Now, the moral warning. This is dynamite. You are playing with the deepest and most volatile forces of the human psyche. There is a very fine but absolute line between consensual domination and abuse. And that line is called calibration and care. A high-value man dominates to give pleasure, not to take it away. An abuser dominates to satisfy his ego and humiliate. Your goal is not to humiliate her. Your goal is to liberate her from her inhibitions. You must be hyper-aware. If she says no for real, and you will know the difference if you have social intelligence, you stop instantly. The safety you provide is the container that allows lust to bloom. If you break the safety container, you become a real predator, and that is unforgivable. Also, not all women are ready for this immediately. Some are so wounded or so conditioned that they need time. Do not force the system. Introduce it gradually. A stronger squeeze, a more intense look. Observe her reaction. If she blooms, advance. If she shrinks, retreat and build more trust. And remember, this is not to use with women who do not respect you. Do not give your primal sexual energy to a woman who despises you outside of bed. That is degrading yourself. This is a gift for the woman who has earned your loyalty. We have descended into the catacombs of desire. We started by visualizing the cold bed of the good man, the one who does everything right and receives nothing in return. We deconstructed the lie that equality and softness are the keys to passion. We revealed the forbidden truth, the ravishment imperative. She wants to be taken. She wants the absolution of sexual responsibility. She wants the controlled monster. I gave you this system, repolarization in daily life, the atmosphere of latent threat, and the execution of ravishment with benevolent domination. And finally, we found your vindication. Your aggression is not bad. It is necessary. It is the fuel she needs to burn her stress and reconnect with her femininity. You are no longer the man who apologizes for having testosterone. Now, you are the architect of lust. If this revelation has awakened the wolf that society forced you to put to sleep, if you feel you now have permission to be the lover she truly desires, like this video and subscribe, because here we don't talk about Disney romance, we talk about real biology. But more importantly, join the tribe. Join the men who have stopped repressing their nature and have started using it as a tool for deep connection. And as a badge of your awakening, as a sign that you understand the difference between being good and being competent, comment the word instinct. Comment instinct if you accept your predatory nature. Comment instinct if you are ready to take control. Comment instinct if you decide to stop asking permission to desire. Most men will remain soft, safe, and forgotten. They will remain asexual roommates, not you. You know that in the dark, the rules change. You know she doesn't want a savior. She wants a conqueror. And tonight, when you turn out the light, you won't ask her what she wants. You will give it to her.